I am Jennifer. I am 39 years old and work in the cleaning industry. I have been working for nearly 20 years at a company that provides cleaning services for office buildings, and I am a single woman in my 40s. The reason I chose this job was to support my sick mother. I live with my mother and my sister, and we were raised in a single-parent family. At one point, my mother became seriously ill, and I had to quit vocational school to focus on her treatment. I looked for a job that would allow me to care for my mother and ended up as a cleaner, which I am now truly grateful for. The company president and my older colleagues understand my situation and support me, affectionately calling me Jenny. My younger colleagues are also adorable. I am convinced there is no better workplace for me. My mother passed away when I was 25 and my sister was 19. Her death came towards the end of autumn, with the onset of winter. The grief of losing my mother led me to take more time off work. However, the company becomes busy during the year-end cleaning season. Even then, my colleagues would say, "We'll wait until you are feeling better." Their concern was appreciated. I wished I could have stayed home. I really wanted to follow in my mother's footsteps, but I have a sister to look after. After losing our mother early, I decided to motivate myself to continue working for my constantly worrying sister. At that time, she was attending university, and I continued to provide the support she needed. As her studies progressed, I helped her with textbook expenses and drove her home when she returned late. When she found a job, I celebrated by giving her a suit. My income was small, but I tried to take over the role of our mother. After our mother's death, my sister suggested I quit cleaning and find a better job due to her dissatisfaction with our living situation and social appearance. I was emotionally unable to consider changing jobs at the time, and her words deeply hurt me. However, my colleagues at work always supported me warmly. Later, my sister worked hard on her job search and was finally hired by a large company. This company is well known, often mentioned in TV commercials and internet advertisements. Her first salary was almost double mine. Her joy was like a child receiving many Christmas gifts, and she excitedly showed everyone, saying, "Look, big sister, I surpassed you in just 1 month. Look at this pay slip, isn't it amazing? Big sister, you should quit your cleaning job and get a good job like me." That's not a nice way to say it. I really like my current job, but if you think about the salary, it's clearly different. Even so, I was truly relieved that her efforts were recognized. I sat in front of our mother's portrait and mentioned how my sister has become a respectable woman from the bottom of my heart, but her behavior at the company gradually caused problems. She achieved results at work and took pride in the praise from her boss. Right after joining, she had the chance to participate in a large project, and as a sister, I was proud, but her condescending attitude towards those around her worsened by the day. I am expected to perform well and I can handle the work, but my peers are a bit lacking in learning ability. I hate it when their shortcomings lower my evaluation. She made such comments without hesitation. It seemed she was taking her workplace and society lightly. If this continued, she might stumble. Therefore, I admonished her about her attitude. I think there's no big difference among newcomers. Everyone is on the same starting line. However, my sister retorted with a sneer, "Don't act so high and mighty. You're just a lowly educated cleaner." I replied irritably. Because I have experience, I understand that there's not much difference in people's abilities. Really? Are there any college-educated newcomers at your company? Before you lecture me, go tell them they're wasting their lives. My sister laughed dismissively and went out for a drink. I was worried she might face difficulties someday. However, her excessive self-esteem only grew stronger. What started as a sense of superiority over having a higher salary than me turned into a distorted self-assessment, warping her personality. She said anything she wanted to me. At first, I overlooked it as excitement about her new workplace, but gentle warnings had no effect. I even tried scolding her strictly, but unfortunately, there was no change. I may have mishandled my relationship with my sister, and I began to lose confidence in myself. Years have passed since then. I continue to work as a cleaner. My sister seems to be progressing well in her career, but her disdainful personality has only worsened. She moved in with her boyfriend and then married him. His personality is as self-conscious as my sister's, and he is a troublesome presence for me. Her husband is quite young, and he feels like a different generation to me. When I was introduced to him, his first conversation with me was, "Are you really a cleaner?" Yes, I am passionate about my job, and I enjoy it very much. Really? But isn't that job dirty? I don't really want to imagine it. It must smell bad. Then, my sister added, "That's true. Just thinking about it is unbearable. It's unclean, and it's a fact that it's a poor and unattractive job. But it can't be helped, right? She's my family after all. Sorry." Stunned by her words, I hardly remember what happened after that. After he left, I yelled at my sister, "That's really rude. What do you mean by it can't be helped because I'm your family? Both he and you shouldn't judge people by their work or income." When I got angry, my sister argued back in surprise. "Shut up. You quit vocational school, and I graduated from university. He's also a college graduate. You can't help but be told that. You have a low income and just content yourself with a lower-class job." After my sister stormed out, I cried in frustration and sadness. I dropped out of vocational school because my mother was ill. My sister knows this. Yet, she said such things. My income is low, but I managed to support my sister's education expenses. I worked hard to fill our mother's shoes. The mistake was in the way I interacted with my sister. As I looked in the mirror through tears, the word ugly she used bothered me. My face resembles my sister's. I might not be called beautiful, but I shouldn't be considered that bad. Perhaps I have been neglecting my appearance a bit. I wonder if she would change her perception if I paid more attention to my appearance and changed. However, no matter how much I tidy up, it won't change my sister's character. Her marriage to someone with similar values has only intensified her excessive self-awareness. I've been consulting with my colleagues, but I feel that there's nothing more I can do about my relationship with my sister. Amidst this, I received a postcard from my sister and her husband. It said, "We're having a housewarming party." This was news to me. Judging from the address, it seems to be a detached house. I felt a sense of distance. If she had told me, I would have congratulated her and helped with the move. I decided to call her after a long time. "Hello, I received your postcard." "Oh, you got it." I could hear my sister's cheerful voice over the phone. "Look, it's a detached house. At our young age, it's because I'm successful. No one else could have done it." Yes, that's really great. It was still a boastful conversation, but I felt a sense of nostalgia and listened carefully to my sister. I started talking about myself later. "Actually, my company just got the cleaning contract for your company. We might see each other sometimes." "Oh, that's great. Not many chances to get into such a big building other than cleaning, huh?" She should have stopped at "that's great." Also, I have a boyfriend now. "Really?" My sister sounded surprised. "Yes, he's older and really wonderful. After hearing your words, I worked hard on my skincare, and he fell in love with me at first sight," I joked. Then my sister said, "It's thanks to me, right? That's a big achievement." Well, she's not entirely without merit. By the way, I want to introduce him to you. He's looking forward to meeting you, so enjoy the party. Okay. I'm looking forward to it. On the day of the eagerly awaited party, when I arrived at my sister's house, I could already hear the sounds of enjoyment. Unfortunately, my boyfriend couldn't come, but when I let them know I had arrived, my sister's voice, which had been bright, suddenly darkened as she said, "What? You actually came?" I wondered what had happened. "You understand your own profession, right?" About work? About the cleaning job? This is a new house. So, I don't want someone as dirty as a cleaner in my clean house. What? Labeling cleaners as dirty and not wanting them in a new house? I couldn't understand that reasoning. My mind went completely blank. Being in such a dirty job, you should be more reserved in these situations, right? Everyone at your workplace must think the same. Don't you have any common sense, sis? Aren't you being rude? Apologize. As my anger started to boil over, I felt it swelling inside me. Is it natural to hold back because the job is dirty? Rude? Should I apologize? No way, I shouted loudly, reaching my limit. You look down on people too much. That's too rude. I might have endured it if it were just about me. But to insult the people at my workplace as well, that was unforgivable. I could see my sister flinching at my strong stance. She's usually aggressive towards quiet people, but becomes timid when fought back against. Do you really think it's okay to judge people by their profession? You're the one who's truly lacking in common sense. Apologize. Why are you suddenly angry? I won't forgive you. How could you become such a terrible person? Mom would definitely be sad. You're trash. Trash? You're the trash. Your boyfriend is trash too, isn't he? He must not be doing a decent job. A normal person wouldn't date someone who's a cleaner. If you weren't my real sister, I wouldn't want anything to do with someone so dirty. I would have abandoned you long ago if we weren't family. That's my line. I'm cutting ties. Never involve me again. Okay. Then goodbye. It was a childish argument, but I could no longer handle it maturely. My sister started to say something, but I ignored her and left the room. I had decided to cut ties with my sister. She was my only sibling, but I couldn't bear it any longer. Because I'm a cleaner, my sister doesn't treat me as a human. Beyond being sisters, our values differ too greatly, so it's better for both of us not to be involved anymore. It's okay. My sister is already an adult. This is goodbye. I have sorted out my feelings. Several months have passed since I decided to cut ties with my sister. By some coincidence, I was assigned to clean the building where my sister works. It might have been the president showing consideration, but I was reluctant to go. However, it's my policy to give my all to the work I'm given. Suppressing my feelings, I went to my sister's company. The building was truly vast and large. With such a large space, I probably wouldn't run into my sister. Even if we did meet, she might not notice me. Thinking this made me feel a bit better. Pushing a cart loaded with cleaning supplies, I tried to focus on cleaning. That afternoon, while mopping the floor, a group of about 5 people were talking while drinking canned coffee at a vending machine. I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. Please think more before you act. Considering how long you've been in this team, you should report and consult before it becomes a problem for all of us. Yes, I understand. This quarter, the same mistake has happened 3 times already. I'm sorry. The person who was apologizing had made a mistake, and everyone pitched in to cover for it. Well done. Holding that thought, I consciously avoided looking at them and continued mopping. Your peers are already team leaders, and some are even section chiefs. You should try a bit harder. I'm sorry. Yes, she was receiving harsh words. It might be time to forgive her. I wanted to mop past that group and go to the other side of the corridor. Afterward, they scolded the woman again and all returned to the office. When the group passed in front of me, I saw a familiar face. Yes, it was my sister. My sister was the one being scolded for making a mistake. No way. My sister also looked at me for a moment, her face losing color. However, she said nothing and quickly followed her team as they left. As I continued to work, my sister crossed my mind several times. The sister who was supposed to be the elite among her peers now looked like a burden to the company, left behind. She seemed to be making frequent mistakes at work and apologizing to those involved each time. Through my cleaning work, I have witnessed many human interactions in various places. This is my intuition. My sister's boasting about being excellent was just vanity. Maybe her work was going well at first. As I had predicted, while she was complacent, her colleagues surpassed her and pulled the rug out from under her. Her condescending nature made this unsurprising. However, I don't need to worry. My sister will no longer rely on me. We are now strangers who have severed ties. A few days after learning this fact, I saw my sister again. While I was cleaning the lobby, my sister came down from the elevator with someone. Oh darn! I forgot the paper bag with the samples. Ha! I'll go get it. Please wait here. It's okay, I'll go. I'm useless anyway. In return, take care of me when you get promoted. Again with that. I'll go get it. The man who seemed to be her younger colleague cheerfully got on the elevator and went back to retrieve the forgotten item. And yet she used to claim to be competent and insult me a lot. Watching my sister cower in a corner of the lobby from a distance, I felt pity for her. While I was wiping the leaves of a lobby plant, one of my colleagues approached and whispered, "Hey, isn't that your sister you talked about before?" "Ah, yes. It seems she's messing up. Please keep quiet about it." My colleague looked worriedly at my sister for a while before returning to their place. Perhaps bothered by our sympathetic gaze, my sister came toward me angrily while I was still in the corner. "Hey, cleaner, what are you doing?" "I'm cleaning." "No, why are you here?" "Because it's my job." When I answered coldly, my sister's face turned furious. "Don't you dare tell my husband that I'm embarrassing myself at work. You understand, right?" It was as if she was venting her work stress on me. The stares of the people around us were drawn to my sister as she raised her voice. I whispered quietly, being mindful of the surrounding people, "You're drawing attention." "Shut up. Don't order me around, you low-educated person." She couldn't help but be aware of the onlookers. "Please keep it down." As I tried to take my sister's hand, she snapped and said, "Don't touch me. You're dirty," while pushing my hand away forcefully. While frantically wiping the area I touched, she continued to hurl insults. "You're threatening me, aren't you? You want money, right? How much are you asking for?" "Threats? Money? What are you talking about?" I asked, bewildered. "Don't talk to my husband about this. Do you understand? You idiot," she yelled. "Oh, I see. Are you embarrassed about making many mistakes at work, or is it because your career progression is slow?" "Which one do you not want me to mention?" I countered. "Both, obviously," my sister shouted. She seemed genuinely afraid that I would discuss her workplace behavior with her husband. "By the way, are you also putting on a facade for your husband?" I provocatively asked. "Shut up. What can trash like you say?" she vehemently retorted. Such harsh words, calling someone trash. My sister continued to hurl insults at me without concern for the eyes of others. It seems the company is a significant source of stress for her. Perhaps belittling me is her way of lightening her heart. "I am not your punching bag." Just then, a man's voice from behind intervened. "Hey, that's no way to treat a cleaner." "Quiet." "Huh? Who?" My sister reacted and finally noticed the commotion around her, looking around. Unable to tolerate her extreme rudeness any longer, a man from the crowd stepped forward. A well-dressed elderly man with gray hair, his appearance suggested a high social status. Seeing the man, my sister instantly became flustered. The man stood by my side and gently placed a hand on my back. "You shouldn't use foul language like calling someone dirty or incompetent. That's unacceptable. Please apologize to her." This is just a quarrel between siblings." I snapped back. We were supposed to have cut off family ties, remember? "Shut up," my sister retorted. She acted softly towards the gray-haired man, but was harsh towards me. Watching this dual behavior, the man intervened. "If it's a family matter, then I am involved too." "What?" My sister was surprised. Nice to meet you. Actually, I'm dating your sister. My sister's eyes widened. I am the executive director from a related company of yours and a board member of your company. It was unfortunate that I didn't get to introduce myself earlier, he continued. Ha! What? My sister was confused and couldn't hide her turmoil. I glanced at him disapprovingly and muttered, "Was there really a need to come out now?" "Now is the only time," he cheerfully said. "Is that true?" My sister asked in a frightened voice. Her reaction was natural. The person before her was an executive at her company. "It's true. When we were negotiating the cleaning contract for this building, I accompanied him. He fell for me when he handled the contract," I explained. "No way!" My sister exclaimed in disbelief. "It's true. When the president couldn't explain the details during the contract signing, she clarified everything precisely, and I was smitten and asked her out," he added. A gasp of surprise echoed from the crowd that had gathered in the lobby. "This is so embarrassing. I heard you said that no decent person would date a cleaner, and that they must be up to no good." "No, I never said that. Regardless, you need to apologize for the harsh words you said to your sister earlier," he insisted firmly. Shocked, my sister was at a loss for words. "Are you Jenny's sister? Please don't make your sister worry about you too much." My colleague, who had been cleaning the lobby, joined in, and colleagues from other floors gathered around. My sister was completely isolated and looked exhausted as she apologized to me. "I'm sorry," she muttered despairingly. Her voice lacked the energy and vitality it once had. Only emptiness lingered. Later, my sister was transferred from the parent company to a remote branch of a subsidiary. This move was not influenced by my boyfriend. After being overheard insulting me, my sister panicked and started making successive mistakes at work. As her position at the workplace became unstable, this measure was deemed necessary. Effectively, it marked the end of her career. Learning of this, my sister's husband came to me in desperation, seeking a resolution. "You're dating a director at my wife's company, right? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Please, can you restore my wife to her former position?" He pleaded desperately. Unfortunately, my response was a regretful, "I'm sorry." His plea did not resonate with me. With the reduced income from the demotion, they couldn't afford the mortgage for the new house they had built and likely had to let it go. My involvement with my sister and her husband's subsequent circumstances no longer exists. Meanwhile, I have married my fiancé and we are living happily in our newly built home. I continue with the cleaning business, though my on-site work has decreased. That's because I took over the management of the cleaning company and became its president. Despite many worries and much anxiety, I love the company I have worked for so long and accepted the offered position as president. Regardless of what anyone says, I intend to continue working proudly at this beloved company.